Hello and welcome to Sci-Fi Night. I'm your host Sebastian Mino Martinez, and this is a show where we take a look at some of the lesser-known sci-fi and horror films and try to find the right expectations and mindset needed to get the most out of them. Tonight we take a whimsical and murderous journey through the African jungle. So this is a fun little movie that's part family adventure, part psychotic killer animal film. Nice combination, right? Congo is classified as an adventure film from 1995 based on a book by Michael Crichton, author of Jurassic Park and the 13th Warrior, amongst others. The film centers around an expedition to the Congo to find a previous group of scientists who went missing, most of which later turned out to be brutally murdered. So the tone of this movie is a little bit off, as it's part wacky family adventure, but also allows for a couple brutal deaths, even if not a whole lot is shown and the brutality is more implied than anything else. Overall though, it stays mostly lighthearted and never gets too violent. Ernie Hudson is delightful as always, more or less being the film's super cool Han Solo type guide.
I'm your great white hunter for this trip, though I happen to be black.
However, the studio really shot themselves in the foot big time by casting Dylan Walsh instead of Bruce Campbell in the lead role, considering that Campbell actually auditioned for it. Instead, he only got a small role in the beginning of the movie. So let's face it, us sci-fi fans, we love us some Bruce Campbell, and in comparison, Dylan Walsh is about as enjoyable as a scrotal rash, but I guess he does enough to get the story going. Another huge fun factor of this movie is the wonderfully overacting Tim Curry. His character wasn't even in the book, so it was just invented for the movie. He plays an eccentric Romanian sleazeball who finances the expedition under false motives. His accent is deliciously absurd, and he's constantly going all in with his acting.
I will pay for Amy to go home.
Have your laughing, and I will have mine.
It's impossible not to have a good time when he's on screen, especially with the famous sesame cake scene.
Mr. Homolka? Oh. Stop eating my sesame cake. Stop eating my sesame cake!
So this movie is very silly, but it's also very enjoyable. Mostly due to the coolness of Ernie Hudson.
3 members of the safari died from exposure. The 4th was shot by we don't know who.
It was an appalling suicide.
We won't look. And Mr. Homolka here had to be carried out of the jungle by, as I remember it, me.
And the overall feeling of adventure that you don't really get these days. There's tons to nitpick if you want to, such as the questionable ape suits, plot points that don't make sense, and tons more. But if you just go with the flow and let a couple things slide, then you're in for a really good, fun adventure film. But at least doesn't feature Zac Efron pop culture references and a bunch of shitty looking CGI animals like you know it would if a movie was made today. So, what should you expect from this movie? Good old-fashioned adventure. So yeah, you're hardly getting Jurassic Park when you're watching this, but it does have a lot of that old-school charm that made a lot of those 80s and 90s adventure movies so memorable, despite its fair share of flaws. A cool Ernie Hudson. If they weren't going to cast Bruce Campbell as the protagonist, they should have at least used Ernie Hudson, because he's by far the coolest aspect of this whole movie. He's charming, he's funny, and he's really the coolest guy in the whole expedition.
I'm taking a safari into the Virunga region of the Congo. If you don't want to go, just go wherever. But you should know this is a damn dangerous place, and people die here very easily. Now, excuse me?
A hilarious Tim Curry. When is Tim Curry ever not entertaining? This movie is no exception. He goes balls to the wall with his over-the-top accent and expression, and it's hard not to smile when you see him on screen because he is just chewing the scenery like a termite.
No, the diamonds are here.
So this movie is definitely worth a watch, even if it doesn't hold the same magic as, say, Jurassic Park and The Never-Ending Story. If you're in the mood for something light-hearted and easygoing with a touch of crazy animal violence, then this is the film for you. See with an old-school mindset of adventure, and you should have a good time laughing both with it and at it, mostly due to Curry's overacting.
That gorilla has seen the city of Zinj. And she will take us there.
So that about rounds out this episode of Sci-Fi Night. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think of the movie Congo in the comments, and also let us know what kind of movies you want to see brought up in the future. Be sure to click the like and subscribe button to support the show and to stay updated with it. And I'm your host, Sebastian Martinez, and this is Sci-Fi Night. We look forward to seeing you guys next time.